Well, guys, I'm recording this for April 17th, even though it's being recorded on April 16th. I should really scoot this a little forward. This is something I've been meaning to do a video about for so long, and I figured my birthday would be the best time to talk about it because this is something that I made last year. I never got around to doing it, and I still haven't recorded it up until now. And considering the fact that I missed the 10th anniversary of my favorite Souls game of all time, this is the game that got me into Souls. This is the game that got me into Souls stuff. In which case, it is also the very game that got me into a bunch of other scrap as well. This is Bloodborne, the card game. But not as you know it. I already did the unboxing for the last time we did this game. For both, I think I did both in one video. It was about like an hour long, so it's not a bad thing. However, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the expansion itself. It's not in this card, it's in this one. So, what's the expansion, you might ask? It's the one that I made last year with another person on Board Game Geek. And it was in a collaboration for about like a few years before it finally came to fruition. And this is probably the best thing that I'm never going to fucking give up. If there was one board game that I had to give up, I would never give up, it's this one. I'm sorry, Elden Ring, but you are on the chopping block no matter what. Besides, you're like $300 freaking, and considering the fact that I'm keeping you safe and locked up, I can easily ship you back out if needed. But anyways, yeah, Bloodborne. So, first of all, let's take a look at the Chalice this has to do with the Chalice dungeons, the one thing that the board game does not represent well. So, yeah, the card game does this better, even though it's like 3 to 5 players, but I found ways to play solo, so to hell with it. But yeah, this is a special player mat that I printed out. And then there's like a very small expansion with this. Rules we can use with this, we'll go over these a little later. But really, the main draw of this expansion is none other than every single card that I made for this expansion. I mean, I made to help people. I made well, for the most part, I made all of the data and effects and whatnot. So, well, I made most of it. And then the person made the card art and made sure it was really very almost one-to-one with the card game. That being said, there are some differences. So I'll point those out. So first of all, we have these. These 3 cards are for the moon phases or whatnot. There is a card that we will see later on that basically is this. You can do that card, or you can use this full 3-phase thing. This 3-phase thing lasts every single game, which I do appreciate. And how it works is you can play it as one of 3 ways. You can do it as a difficulty level, which choose one of them. Or place a sunset card and amplify its effect. When the first boss is defeated, do Nightfall, and when second boss is defeated, do Blood Moon. So, yeah, I like this. It's a very small expansion, but it works. This, however, what you're about to see, is not small at all. It is not small at all. So let me just put these cards here so you can see what you're about to witness. So first of all, we got 6 of these cards. We're going to look at the final boss cards first. 6 of these cards are from a fan-made expansion on Steam Workshop, where they put it on Tabletop Simulator. So we have Ludwig the Holy Blade, who has red dice for a final boss, which is very rare to see. Lady Maria of the Astral Clock Tower, respectable 17 with monster rolls that land on 0 must be re-rolled. It's a nice touch. Amygdala with a yellow die. Playing Hunter's Dream now rounds up half damage instead of rounding down. Very interesting. First Hunter may target hunters to the left or right of themselves instead of the monster. I think this is pretty much the same exact effect as the original. If I'm not mistaken, no, it is not the same effect. It is a different effect. And also has a red die. Orphan a Cost. Monster is alive and a monster escapes step. Remove the top of the upgrade deck without showing it from the game. And a Yarn of Themerian Queen. At the start of the round, the hunters with the highest unbanned blood echo submits 1 as tribute to their excellency. They serve as HP for the queen. So, say for example, the game starts. The game start is the only exception to this rule. Because you have no unbanned blood echoes when the game starts. So, for the most part, essentially, you're going to be racking up blood throughout the game. And whatever player, however, if you're playing with only one player, assumably enough, you're probably going to be playing until the game is, like, if you're having, like, the usual 10 cards in a deck, which is 3 bosses, 7 monsters, you're probably going to have 10 health, at least, with one enemy, unless you many of them left. So, this may or may not end up being part of, you know, other things. So, who knows? It all depends on the rounds and stuff. But that's just one player. You could probably do more than just one player, which you obviously have to because it's a 3 to 5 player game. But I like playing my game solo, and people have found out to do a solo. So there's that first one. Then we got 4 more cards that are relatively part of this expansion as well. So we have Amygdala, once again. This is a different Amygdala than the one that you see in the Hunters and Nightmare expansion. With a different ability and all. 16 health. None of these have, by the way, these are the ones more in line with these cards. Just barely. Just barely. You'll see what I mean by this. I do like how you keep this, and, but, yeah, it is a little bit less sharper. So you can definitely tell there's a difference here. And you got Ludwig the Accursed, which is one of the few that was actually missing. Because, good God, I actually do like, we have Ludwig the Holy Blade, but it shows this picture. Why not Ludwig the Accursed with his picture, and then the Holy Blade with something like, this. It's hard to see it, but yes, it's, this is the Holy Blade moment. So, Ludwig the Accursed. And we got another Orphan of Cost. What the fuck, Mom? Really? Really? You cut off my internet? Ugh. Let me guess, is that... What? What? You need me to do your fucking, You know what? I don't care. I don't care. Wait. You said it for every Wednesday. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. No, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. So, Orphan of Cost. When this boss has 10 health points or less, throw the red dice instead of yellow. Want to lose one of his trophies. This, ironically, used to be misspelled, but we managed to fix it before it went to print. Oh, and I also forgot this one as well. This one is also part of these mismatched cards right here. Launch the First Vicar, which is a different. This is a different attack compared to the original. So, yeah. So then we have these, and these are where it gets really different. This is where the real fan-made stuff comes in. First of all, we're going to take a look at the 3 cards that are pretty much from the original game, but spiced up. Ron the Vacuous Spider has a different attack now. Hunter deals 3 more damage to a monster. All hunters take 1 damage. Can't be prevented. Way different attack and much appreciated. Then we have Mikolash, Host of the Nightmare, which this includes the Chalice Dungeon trap cards, which we will go over those. Begin the game 1 trap card Chalice Dungeon deck. If a hunter dies, add a random trap card from the box to the top of the Chalice Dungeon deck once per round. So in other words, if like 3 die, you only add 1 card. So this I do like better than adding the 2 fucking monsters. So this is a lot better. And then Moon Presence. This is the exact same as the original. It's with a different card art. And my god, that art looks beautiful. And by the way, compare this to this. The font and shit is accurate. Love it. Absolutely love it. This is why I like this, because it really feels like this is the closer it gets to being an unofficial expansion. Now, people actually talked about it more. We could actually have it as an actual expansion, but we'll get to that later. Then we have the other 5 final bosses. One of which we're saving for last, so we'll go with that. So, we got the Loran Dart Beast. Monster deals 0 damage. Each hunter takes damage equal to the amount of damage they do to the monster. So yeah, that's actually a tough card. Not gonna lie. Then we got this boss from Cut Content. Great One Beast. Whenever a monster escapes, the next monster deals 1 damage. Whenever a monster is killed, the next monster gains 2+ health. Once again, I do like those odds. This one's also creative. Hunter's maximum hand size is 5 cards. And by the way, this is the one enemy I was missing in the card game. The original. Like, in the Hunter's Nightmare, we were missing this enemy. Now we have her. Thank God. What do we also have? A Headless Bloodletting Beast. Hunters who deal damage to the other hunters collect the same amount of blood that goes from reserve. So, those are all nice. Those are all extremely nice. But you might be wondering, what's the last one? It's a Dark Souls boss, not a Bloodborne boss. What the fuck? This was totally the other developer's idea. Which, I'm not gonna lie, I like it. I wish it was Elden Ring, but I think this fits a whole lot better. Monster escapes, adds remaining blood echoes, and the reason why it's a Manus is because it's relating to the lore. And the lore of Manus could be very well connected to Bloodborne in a wishy-washy way. So, yeah. Whenever a monster escapes, adds remaining blood echoes from that monster to Manus, the ancient beast's health. When Manus loses half his health, his die becomes red. Hunters who help kill Manus claim 3 trophies of their choice. Which, yeah. Yeah, we can also house rulers with other shit, but other than that, the final bosses are looking really special. That being said, we haven't got to the other shit yet. So, now we got the rune cards. There are 8 that we made for this expansion. And once again, most of these are my doing in terms of the data and like what the stuff is. So, let's go. Maximum hand size is 6. Maximum health is increased by 2 points. Put 2 blood echoes next to your health dial to signify the increased health. These blood echoes act the same as blood echoes on monsters. So basically, you get a decrease in hand size, unless the hand size already decreased to freaking 5 because of the Lemurian Elder. But you get basically 10 health. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. And in a game like Vicar Amelia, you get 8 health instead of 6, so you win on that. Lake. If you have the least amount of health out of all hunters, half any damage dealt to you by the monster rounded down. Another nice one. Transform weapon step. If you're the only hunter who played a weapon type, which is melee and range, collect 1 blood echo from the reserve and your weapon deals +1 damage to the monster. Whenever you heal your health with the effect of an action card, excluding Hunter's Dream, you may collect 2 blood echoes. Hand size becomes 8 cards and you can transform into any attack. And into any action card. So basically, this can negate. I think this is negate. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's negated by the final boss or this negates the final boss. I don't know. Tell me what you think in the comments. Though you probably don't even skim the comments anyway, so who fucking cares? When you take a new upgrade card, you must show it to all other hunters. All monsters gain +1 blood echo to their health. Your weapons deal +1 damage to monsters. Monster deal plus damage to you. So basically, this is a win-lose-lose situation. And then after the transform weapon step, if you're the only hunter played, ranged weapon deals +2 damage to monsters. Oh, and then whenever you're playing weapon but the monster dies before you can deal any damage, collect 1 blood echo from each hunter who killed the monster. You know what? That's fair. That's fair. So, those are all the runes. So now you get a total of 20 runes, and according to how many final bosses there are in the card game, there's 6 here, and then there's 8 in the expansion. That gives you a total of 14. Then you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 final boss cards. So that gives you a total of 32 final bosses to choose from. You got options now. This game really just bumped up. Like, this is basically a fan expand. This is like almost like a standalone game in itself, if you know what I mean. It's almost like that. Not quite, just about. But there's more. There's more. So you have all this. Also, this game adds about, I want to say 187, I think, cards, and I think the amount of cards that it just adds total 177. It's something along the lines of that. So it's like doubles the amount of cards from the original core set and expansion combined. So there's that. But now we get to every other card, and oh boy, this is gonna be a doozy. I'm gonna probably do this all in one video just to hell of it. So we're gonna split this into 3 different decks. The first deck is monsters, so we'll start with that. Monster deck. So, we're just going to flip through these because right now we're starting to take a little too long. So, we have a regular boss version of the Arthurian Queen. A regular boss version of Loran Dark Beast. Regular boss version of Living Failures. I kept these from the fan-made expansion that someone else made because I thought it was unique. And now we're getting to the actual stuff that was created exclusively for this expansion. So here we go. Nightmare Boar. Which, some of these are, like, really intricate. I really do appreciate some of the detail and stuff. Brainsucker's a boss now. Like, pretty much they turned every single boss that we didn't get in the Chalice dungeons for these 2 sets in here. So pretty much, this fan expansion plus these 2... that's all of Bloodborne, period. I don't think you need any other expansion. Now, considering the fact that we got a tease for the Dark Souls expansion, I'm really hoping that in the future, me and this guy can come back around and do some Dark Souls stuff, because it would be really good. And maybe even add some stuff like insight to the game to make it a little bit more interesting. Because that's another thing that we did. We had to nix out the insight thing that I was planning for this expansion. Which insight was actually gathered by someone else. So basically the new things we incorporated in this expansion are trap cards and the basically a challenge level deck of sorts. Which is or room deck of sorts, which basically is so similar to a campaign, if you know what I mean. So we have that. We have another lesser Enigma. Actually no. We had this is the only one we have because there was a lesser Enigma that I used to have here, but I got rid of it, and well, because there's a much better one here. I think this is also the same one that fucking kills you in the church. So, yeah. Then we got Merciless Watcher, so... Yeah, then we're getting to some new enemies that should have been included in the Hunter's Nightmare because it was based off of, well, the DLC of the same name. But also new enemies that were, you know, around there. We got a regular Silver Beast, so that's nice. Nightmare Church Giant. Nightmares of Mensis, which this is more like the oh my fucking god, it's the hybrids. I just realized. And yes, this is a Dark Souls enemy. This is also another reason why. This guy is similar to a hunter, which is probably the only reason why it's also here. So yes, there is hints that there could be our Dark Souls expansion in the future, and I'm hoping that we can also do Elden Ring. And maybe if people ask for a Dustbloods, because I would love to do a Dustbloods expansion, because I hear that that's so far looking good. But honestly, I want to do Elden Ring first before we do stuff like Dark Souls and whatnot. So, yeah. So, Yahargul Beast. Another Nightmare Apostle, which honestly, this one is kind of unnecessary, considering the fact we already have one. Wandering Nightmare. Lost Child Antiquity. Sorrowful Emissary. Keeper's Hunting Dogs is a new one. Child of Rom. Now, some of these I can house rule to, like, play with other bosses or whatnot, because, like, there's some enemies that play exclusively with other bosses. So, it would be good. It would be good to do that. Watcher's Gravedigger. Now, I haven't figured out how to do those just yet. I'm going to have to go back into rules, which we'll look at the rules later. But so far, this is a fine expansion. Like, this is really good. And I like the fact that, that there's always the challenges, and we play tested this, and we made sure it was good. And I play tested it using as much as I could, because, like, I had to try my best to help play test, even though I was in such an unfinancial spot, which I still am at the moment, at the time of this recording. But hey, the game's out, the expansion's out, and pretty much no one cared. Which just shows that we might not do this again. I don't know. I would love to do this again, but I'll try messaging the guy later on Board Game Geek. Maybe he'll message better through email or whatnot, but, like, so far, it's, yeah, I want to reach out to him, but I don't know how, if he wants to talk or whatnot. I'd love to. I'd love to do a part 2, and then probably even come up with some more stuff for expansions, because expansion is not only you add new cards and stuff, but you also add, like, a new gameplay mechanic. This gameplay mechanic we did is the room and trap decks. So I want to do something involving insight and probably status effects like poison, frenzy, and bleed. Which are the 3 main status effects of Bloodborne that you need to know. And that is all the enemies. Oh, shit. That's all the enemies of the expansion. So now we're going to look at the room/trap deck, because this one is another. This is where the fun part, like the most creative part of the expansion came in. Because this is basically the game mode, the new game mode, essentially. Because you have the room deck, so 1, 2, and you can tell they're like different screenshots from the game, which I appreciate. And these are all pretty much the same. Like, these are just empty rooms, and then you could probably splice some enemies and Well, also, there's a Chalice Dungeon Lever, so this is the one that's the most important because this unlocks the final boss, per se. So, then you also have Ritual Material, which can make this good or bad depending on your playthrough. As additional final boss, so final boss additions this tech stack. And since we have 2 different Yharnam Themerian Queens, you can either A, add both to make your life hell, B, add one of your choice. And that's it. And then you have Bastard Loran. This is one where this is really gonna fuck up your game. Half health for the entire game, which it really feels like it's the cursed right, which I do appreciate that we kept this for part of the trap stuff. So this is where we get like the trap stuff. And you can't die to the traps, but you can almost die. Health cannot be reduced below 1. And I do like some of these. This one's a bit hard to see because of the light, but yeah. Some of these do actually help you. Most of them will hurt you. Phantom Adversary. Next monster becomes a boss. This is a fun one. This is a fun one, and I like that it has no effect to the next monster. It's already a boss, so I do like it. And then we got Patches. Patches is in every single Souls game. Even fucking Psycho. Don't know how, but that happens. And yeah, this is essentially what I was talking about with the Blood Moon stuff. Though it's more acting like Nightfall than anything. Spider's Nest. Poison Mist Urn. Thick Fog. Sarcophagus. I'd love to add a couple more trap cards to the next expansion, because there's also some unique stuff, especially if we're going to be implementing stuff like Insight, Frenzy, Poison, and Bleed. Oh, and also Stagger. I would love to include Stagger and Stun for the next expansion as well, because I do have rules for those, but that's going to be difficult. That being said, we're going to go over all the weapon cards, and by that, we're only going to go over the ones that don't repeat. So here we go with Chalice Parasite. Actually, hold on. Let me pause for a moment. All right, so Chalice Parasite, Stake Driver. Now, I think we already have this inside the Hunter's Nightmare expansion, so this is kind of a little bit unnecessary. But most of these weapons we do not have. Like, hell, I think even Stake Driver was one of the ones that we did not have in the original card game or even expansion at all, which is a freaking shame. Or was it the Threaded Cane? I think it was one of the two. And we have some new DLC exclusive weapons, such as the Amygdala Arm, Bloodwood's Holy Blade, Rikuyo. Oh my god. This thing just does not want the freaking... This is a little bit difficult to do, my bad. Alright, so, Church Pick, Burial Blade, another one that was missing, Beast Hunter Scythe, Beast Cutter. Now that I think about it, a lot of weapons were missing from the original. Now this is obviously a oh wait, that's not a that's not a typo, my bad. It feels like a typo because they repeated the same thing twice in the same exact way, but I guess not. So these are different. This is the repeats because that's what it is. Because you're playing this game with multiple people. Of course, you want to have multiple people to have multiple choices with the weapons. So yeah, it's all fun. Then you get to the doubles. First up, this baby right here. And then you get the bow blade, which is a nice twist. Rider Pollock, which was also missing from the game. My god, can this thing focus? You were focusing enough last time. Rifle Spear. And you pretty much have these repeat. So then you're going to get the range weapons. The lock shield. We already have enough cannons in the original set. We don't need that. A wooden shield. And a pebble. And another hunter's torch, because I don't know why he did this, but I guess it's just because there isn't much left to do for those items. And then we have some unique items. Most of these are which were taken from previous cards that someone else made. We just made them in the format that we wanted them to have, like to be more official looking. So, first of all, we have the Shaman Bone Blade, Call Beyond, Empty Phantasm Shell. This is different from the Augur Brita, by the way. Or Tiny to Nitrous. And these are the utility cards, by the way, which I think this is the one that we forgot to have the lettering of utility card on the bottom. Which is unfortunate. Actually, no, that wasn't like that in the original. Never mind. That wasn't like that in the original. Okay, so carry on. Numbing Mist. Silver Bullet. Matterous Whistle. We've already had this. We didn't have this. This is a fun one. We've already had this. Bone Marrow Ash. Iosiska Blood Vial. I don't think we had this. Choir Bell. Our Cursed Brew. And then you can choose one of the three. Which I like that. That's a lot better than making 3 different cards. You can actually choose one of the 3. I like that. And then we got another Black Sky Eye for whatever reason. And then I think we had this before, but if we didn't, then here you go. And did we have a beat? And then, yeah, it's starting to repeat again. So, yep, this is basically the expansion. These, So yeah, essentially you get doubles of all the weapons and stuff. And I don't know why we have 2 extras, but that's just the way it is for whatever reason. And yeah, that is essentially it. I would really love to get around and playing this expansion on the channel, but you know me, and you already know my plans for this month, for this year. This channel will end in 2025. All of it. So, yeah, it is a little bit unfortunate. But hey, I finally got to share something that I actually made last year. I really wish I didn't have to wait this long, but it is what it is. And the best part is, they all fit in this freaking expansion. Now, I have this box because you could potentially fit the other stuff here, but let's be honest, I'm not doing that. I don't want to overstuff this box already. Okay, so, yeah. So, this will be premiering on my channel tomorrow, April 17th, for my birthday. And then I'll hopefully get to you both unboxings of the Elden Ring board game. Do I want to get Weeping Peninsula? No, to be honest. It's really feels filler and boring and whatnot. Do I want to get Limgrave Depths? Yeah, I kind of do, but I don't have the freaking money right now. And on top of that, it's going to be sold out very soon, so once again, I miss out on something cool because it has the Rune Bears, which is a very hard enemy that I would kind of like to play, to be honest. And it also has Blad the Wolf, which is one of my favorite NPCs from Elden Ring. But this is Bloodborne we're talking about. And I think, for a card game, it's still one of my favorites, even though it's just 3 to 5 players. I've managed to get a lot of rules to make it one player only, which is exactly what I need. And with that, we're done. We don't need to talk about Bloodborne anymore. That's my birthday video. So, if you're watching this, please wish me a happy birthday. I really appreciate it. Sorry this took a little too long. I was grazing over the final bosses a little bit. And unfortunately, I don't have access to the rules right now because Mom shut off my internet, so I can't even access them. They're currently in print format, and I can't. I'm sorry. So yeah, that's all. If you enjoyed this video, hope you consider clicking notifications so be updated on all updates and videos. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And as always, till all, fear the old blood. I was about to say till all the one. I keep saying till all the one, but then again, I'm doing a lot of Transformer reviews recently. And I know that I said I'm supposed to be doing it in April, but this is the problem. And I'm going to get this little spoiler to you right now. Let's Build's not done yet. Yup, we have more blockies. Which means Let's Build is not done yet. Which means you are going to be getting a lost season, per se, right before the finale of the channel. Which, of course, is Triptychon. So if you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider clicking notifications to be updated on all updates and videos. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And as always, fear the old blood. I think I said that twice already. I don't care.